As a group, we've talked a lot about, you know, what's our story, because there's just so much. And for every individual, the story's just a bit different. And for every family, the story's a bit different as well. But I think probably the most impressive thing is that if you take a well-trained group of Marines and sailors and you give them the equipment they need to operate and deploy, you literally can do anything.
The MU is a uniquely structured crisis response force that has the ability to react or respond to different missions or operations across the spectrum of military operations, from humanitarian assistance to wartime and conflict. From a logistics perspective, the ability to self-sustain for 15 days is reflective of the incredible capability that the MU can provide.
My experience with the 15th MU has highlighted the formidable capability that the MU provides across the spectrum of operations. The 15th MU is composed of BLT-15, which provides our infantry battalion, CLB-15, which provides our logistics battalion, VMM-165, which provide our rotary wing support, and VMFA-225, which provide our fixed wing support, as well as recon company and the command element.
After forming in June 2023, the 15th MU conducted key training exercises ashore and embarked aboard the 3 ships of the Boxer Amphibious Ready Group to prepare for deployment.
The pre-deployment training prepared us in a way that you could only get it out of repetitions, practice. Working with other MSCs and actually accomplishing those missions is the only way that we were able to actually improve.
The more time we had on the boat, on flight deck, the more we got used to living this life. The more we learned how to talk with our Navy counterparts, the more we just learned how to live the boat life.
The biggest difference I saw from RUT and the last ship period was the confidence in my junior Marines and stepping up into that leadership role that we want them to step up into.
In January 2024, the Somerset became the first ship to set out on the deployment with more than 600 Marines and sailors of the 15th MU.
I think when the force found out that they were going to get to go in January, I think there was a lot of excitement. We almost didn't have time to think about what does that mean. We just knew we were the lucky ones that got to go and get into the fight and get into Indo-PACOM and start doing exercises, start doing the stuff that we've been training to do for the last 2 years. So I think it was a mix of excitement but also unknowns. Because we did have a really big exercise to get ready for. Cobra Gold is huge, which I think we loved. Give us the challenge. That's what we want to. That's what we want to do. Don't give me the easy mission. Give me the tough one.
In March 2024, the Harper's Ferry departed San Diego to link up with the Somerset for Exercise Balikatan. It would be the first opportunity for the Marine Corps to employ its new amphibious combat vehicle overseas.
ACVs were utilized during Battle of Catan for bilateral training with the Philmar. Wrapped up in that operation was the first splash OCONUS of ACVs, immediately followed by the first waterborne gunnery range.
In April 2024, the Boxer's deployment was delayed, forcing the 15th MEU to adapt how it would support operations across the Indo-Pacific region.
It became clear that there was going to be a little bit different setup for the ships in Indo-PACOM. And it's, let's look at our processes, look at what lessons are we learning from these first couple exercises that we've done, because man, we've got a lot more to do, and we need to be able to sustain this performance, not just for 1 or 2 or 3 exercises, but for like 7.
The Somerset arrived in Hawaii to participate in Rim of the Pacific 2024, its final exercise, where it would briefly meet up with the Boxer for the first time underway. During RIMPAC, the world's largest maritime exercise, the 15th MEU conducted integrated training alongside 12 partner nations. As the Somerset returned home, the Boxer set out for Korea to link up with the Harper's Ferry for a month of combined unit-level training and to participate in Sangyeong 2024.
Our goal for Sangyeong 24 was to strengthen our relationship with the Republic of Korea, Marines, and Navy, as well as integrating not only the Marine Corps, but the amphibious force as a whole.
As the Harper's Ferry began the voyage home after Sangyeong, Boxer set its focus on the Philippines. However, Super Typhoon Krathon struck the Batanes Islands in the Luzon Strait. As a ready crisis response force, the 15th MEU was called to support our Filipino allies.
Within a couple of days, we had to transition directly into an exercise. You read about it in the history books about MEUs doing two things at once, and this MEU was able to demonstrate that when it came to the humanitarian assistance, disaster relief, immediately into coastal live fire defense with our partners the hundreds of miles to the south.
The Boxers' return to San Diego marked the end of 11 months of deployed operations across the 15th MEU. For the first time in nearly a year, the entire force was reunited.
To be America's Vanguard, 1, you have to be ready. 2, you have to be there and be forward to be relevant. You have to have the capability to deal with all the problems that the world might throw at you. I think we met that definition to the letter. In the time that we were in theater, within Indo-PACOM, the U.S. military conducted 400 operations, activities, and investments. 84 of them were ours. So we can account for almost a quarter of all actions in theater with our 2,500-man force. The circumstances is what made us different. And when you take that skill and you add in the will and the perseverance, the resiliency that this force has built over time, I think you get something special. And that's what I'm most proud of with this team. There wasn't a single problem during the deployment or during the PTP, no matter how hard it got, that we couldn't figure out an answer to. It was just expected. If I were the adversaries, I'd be concerned. If I was them, I'd probably be grateful that we're finally home.